Hello there, in this video we're going to be answering the following problem. What is the limit as x approaches infinity for this particular function here? Well, what we can do to make this a bit more obvious to the answer is just manipulate this function so we can get something a bit more simpler out. So what I'm going to do is just rewrite this a bit. So it's going to be 9x squared plus x negative 3x all over 1, remind you that's how it is, and I'm going to be multiplying it by its opposite. I'm basically using the difference of squares rule. So we have 9x squared plus x, all of that being square rooted, then plus 3x instead of minus, plus, and that's going to be happening to the bottom as well. Now if I actually multiplied this out, I would get essentially this all over, then we have the denominator of course being the 9x squared plus x, all of that being square rooted, then plus 3x. So let me change colors. If we just simplify the numerator a tiny bit more, we can see that we have a positive 9x squared plus x and a negative 9x squared. Now these two here are going to be canceling out because they're positive and negatives. So if I just rewrite that, we're just going to be having an x on the numerator. So just an x. All over we have 9x squared plus x, all of this being square rooted, mind you, then plus 3x over here. Now we're making some progress. Let me just erase the top part to make some room for myself. I'll move this also to the side over here. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Well, next we want to get the x's to cancel out because that's the entire goal here. Also, mind you, the 3 isn't being square rooted. So let's factor out the x's. What I can do from the bottom is factor out the x squared to get, basically it's going to be x squared multiply 9. That'll give me 9x squared, then plus, and we're going to be having basically 1 over x. If we multiplied x squared to that, we would just get an x, which is equivalent to that. And also, all of this is being square rooted still. And then plus 3x all over x. Now, let's say I took out the x squared. It's either going to be positive or negative. But in our case, since the x is going to infinity, a positive number in this case, it's going to be a positive x. So let's say I took the x squared out. And because the x squared is inside a square root, it's just going to become a normal x after being taken out of it. Okay, so now we're making a lot of progress. The next step we're going to be taking, let me just erase this, is going to be to factor out the x entirely from the denominator. Now that means I'm going to be factoring it out from 3 as well. So if I factor out the x, it'll be x, then bracket the square root of 9 add 1 over x, then just plus 3 because I factor out the x. And then we have an x on top, of course. And I keep erasing stuff, but basically you can always pause the video and see how I came to that conclusion. Now the x's are going to finally cancel out, and they're going to cancel out to a 1. So this is equivalent to saying 1 over, then we just have square root 9 add, and this is the part where we recognize that any number over x, when you're dealing with a limit that's going to some kind of infinity, is going to be equivalent to 0. So in our case, we have 1 over x. That is equivalent to 0. So we, instead of just putting like a square root 9 plus 1 over x, it's just going to be square root 9. And of course, we still have that 3 there. So we just put plus 3. Now it's just simplifying this a bit further. We see that square root 9 is going to be 3, right? So we just have a 3, add 3 all over or all under 1. That'll give me 1/6 as my final answer for the limit here. So this limit right there is equal to 1/6. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below or PM me. I also hope you're having a fantastic day.